We continue on with our theme in this 21-day fast through the third, through the elections, daring to believe that the heavens are acting to actually remove judges, raise them up, shift elections. God is the God who rules from his heavenly throne. And we as his saints gather around that Mount Zion courtroom and actually issue the decrees and that he is issuing in heaven. We actually execute the verdict. We execute the judgment written. It's what it says in Psalms 49. So once again, in this amazing passage of Psalm 75, the answer in Psalm 74, the question or the plea in Psalm 74 says, "Arise, Yahweh, plead your own cause," or another translation, "Arise, Yahweh, take your own case to court." I believe that God is moving with zeal to take Roe v. Wade to court. It's his own case. And we've pondered these passages concerning Psalm 75. And then he says, he sets up one and he puts down another. In verse 9, the cup of judgment is in the hand of Yahweh. It foams with wine, it's full of mixture, and he pours it out, yes, the dregs thereof, that all the wicked of the earth may drink it up. This is terrifying language, but there are times when God actually moves to remove kings and rulers. It was some time ago that I was reading a book by George Otis Jr., and it was called The Last of the Giants. He says this picture is one of the most powerful pictures of God raising up kings, bringing them down in accordance with the prayers of the saints. He talks about how Soviet Russia was shifted in the days when Ronald Reagan and Gorbachev were the president and the prime minister of Russia. What happened was God began to move to the prayers of the saints, 70 years of intercession by the people in Russia who are living under that demonic regime. And during those days, a summer took place that was a warm summer in Russia, and all through Russia, the Soviet Union, people were protesting, going to the streets. It was a massive uprising. God was even shifting the weather so that the voice of the people would be heard. Do you see? God was seizing his moment. He's come to judge. And what happened is, over the next several years, Politburo leader after Politburo leader, they were the old guard, Soviet guard. One after another, they would die. One, and then 2 years later, the next one would die, and the next one would die. And it was like, oh my goodness, God is moving things until he got Gorbachev, and then the killing was done. Now, we're not asking anybody to be killed, but I'm saying that God is the God that judges the wicked. And there are times, even in the New Testament, where Herod was eaten by worms because God had come to deal with him because of his arrogance and his refusal to honor God. So I came to that prayer meeting that morning, and I brought The Last of the Giants, and I read about what happened in Russia and in the Soviet Union, and I said, I feel that God is about ready to move with the justices of the Supreme Court and the justices of America, that a massive shift is going to take place. God is going to begin to shift the whole system for the ending of Roe v. Wade. My friend Chris Berglund had no idea. These guys didn't even know about this book by George Otis Jr., that history belongs to the intercessors. And my prophet friend Chris Berglund, at the end of me sharing this, said, Lou, I had a dream last night. And in the dream, I saw a paper. And written on the paper was called, the words were, The Last of the Giants. The very title of the book, that I had just read, and it said, you have believed for 2 judges, but now I want you to believe for 5. We have Gorsuch, we have Kavanaugh, we have Amy Coney Barrett, and we can't rest here at this point. Some are saying, I saw an article the other day, you've got your Amy Coney Barrett now you don't need your Trump. She's going to be confirmed, but you don't need to vote for Trump. I say, it is not a time to get passive. We need a president who will sweep away the house of Ahab. Literally, we need a president that will ride with like Jehu for the full mantle, the full shift in the courts of America that could actually save us for generations. Brothers and sisters, it's time for the last of the giants to fall and to God to exalt the righteousness. We are praying for judges. We pray that God will convert them, save them, remove them, or reform them. Say that God would convert them, reform them, or remove them. And that God would exalt his chosen judges, because you cannot ask for a nation as your inheritance unless God judges the judges.